Everybody ready? Good. All right. Afternoon, everyone. Chief Fenner here with Mayor. And Mayor, thank you for the support. We're here to announce an arrest, but before I do that, I always start with that human element. I spoke to Takeoff's mother early this morning, and my prayers, and I ask that all our prayers continue to go out to her and his entire family, his close friends, the city of Atlanta, and all of Takeoff's fans around the world. We lost a good man, and I didn't have the pleasure of meeting him, but everybody, the hundreds of people that I talked to, spoke on what a great individual he was. We have a special relationship with the city of Atlanta. I want to make sure that stays intact. I want to thank them, the family, and everybody else for patience, allowing us to work through the evidence and the facts, which is most important. I also want to thank our investigators. Here today, Sergeant Michael Barrow, Lieutenant Barnes, Investigator Ross Watson, and also from the DA's office, Ruben Perez and Matt Gilliam, who's worked very hard on this case. All of our individuals, our divisions, our homicide division, thank you. People don't know the hard work that they do behind the scenes, the number of hours that they're away from their family members. So also the gang division, our federal partners, FBI, state partner DPS, and ATF. Everybody took a role in this investigation. We stood here a little bit, I think a month ago, maybe a day or two, and made a promise that we would get the individuals or the individual that's responsible for the murder of Takeoff in custody. So yesterday evening, we arrested Patrick Xavier Brown, 33 years old. He was charged with the murder of Takeoff. Brown was arrested again yesterday evening in the 14700 block of Sterling Green Boulevard. It's located on the east side of Texas. I'm sorry, of Houston. Again, Cameron Joshua, 22 years old, was arrested on November the 22nd for felon in possession of a weapon. I'm going to turn it over to the mayor right now, and after that, we're going to bring up the investigators and then the district attorney's office, and then Commander Garcia will translate for us in Spanish. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief. And look, let me thank your entire team and all of your law enforcement partners that have been working on this case. Let me thank the prosecutors from the DA's office. I really appreciate their presence and their work. And I've certainly realized that the work even continues in this case. I do want to point out the fact that over the last month, I've had several conversations with the mayor of Atlanta, Mayor Andre Dickens, kind of keeping him advised of this investigation and what was taking place, and talked with him as late as yesterday evening to apprise him of what would be taking place today. Look, it was about a month ago when we stood here as a team to discuss the shooting death of Kirshner Kyrie Ball. Public knew him as Takeoff. We all knew him as Takeoff, a talented entertainer and part of the Atlanta-based group, the Migos. I do also want to acknowledge Councilmember Edward Pollard, who is with us this afternoon. But more than an entertainer, he was a son, a brother, cousin, and a friend, and a mentor to those in the music industry. At that time, we also asked witnesses to help police identify Takeoff's killer and prevent more violence from happening in retaliation. I am glad that a suspect has been arrested and charged with Takeoff's death. It certainly, I think, will bring some comfort to the family, though it does not bring Takeoff back. This is a significant step towards seeking justice, and I hope it also brings additional comfort to all of those who love Takeoff. Over the past few weeks, Chief Fenn and I were asked often about the status of the investigation. The chief kept me informed about the information that had been received, the evidence that has been collected, including the videos, the video that was being reviewed. I want to express my regrets and disappointment that this was a case of another young man taking the life of another young man for no reason. The gun violence everywhere, not just in the city of Houston, has to stop. People are dying for little or no reason, and people are reaching for a deadly firearm to settle sometimes minor disagreements. But pulling a firearm can have deadly consequences that you cannot undo. And so I'm glad that arrest has taken place, that we do have someone in custody. It is unfortunate. It really is unfortunate because it does not bring Takeoff back. But to Chief Fenner, to you, to your command staff, to the investigators, to the DA's office, to all of the partners who helped, to those who provided tips, information, let me thank you, and then look forward to this investigation and prosecution continuing on this matter. Thank you, Chief.
Let me step up and make a quick correction on the name. I had a misprint on my notes. It's Patrick Xavier Clark, 33 years old, on the rest of the suspect. Okay? Come on, Sarge.
Good afternoon. I'm Sergeant Michael Burrow with the Homicide Division. The Chief was very gracious in recognizing a lot of the partners that we were involved with in this case. I did want to recognize a couple of other people that, or organizations that helped a lot with the investigation. The Houston Forensic Science Center, our lab rats, so to speak, the people that do our forensic analysis, they work behind the scenes a lot. They don't get a lot of recognition, and they helped us answer a lot of important questions in this case when others would not. That includes our firearms section, our latent print section, and our crime scene unit.
Thank you.
Quick note, just I know there's going to be a lot of questions about the investigation. The investigation is still ongoing. We still have a lot of people that we're trying to locate and talk to, so we will be a little bit short on details here. We probably will not be able to answer all of your questions. But I can tell you, to confirm some of the speculations out there, the event was a private party. There was a lucrative dice game that went on at the event. There was an argument that happened afterwards outside the bowling alley, which led to the shooting. I can tell you that Takeoff was not involved in playing in the dice game. He was not involved in the argument that happened outside. He was not armed. He was an innocent bystander. Some important case factors. You know, the Chief was mentioning some of the timing here. I mean, we've boiled it down to over 30 people that were standing outside. We have an exact number, but we're not going to put that out. When the shooting happened, literally every single one of those people left the scene without giving a statement to police. We found a few of them that night. We found others since then. But it's important that those people come forward. And we're still looking to talk to a lot of those people. And we will be looking to find you. It will be easier if you come find us. It'll be easier for you. It'll be easier for us as well. You know, essentially we had to rely on a large volume of video surveillance evidence that came in, and cell phone videos and audio, things that surfaced over time in some cases that weren't available immediately. We had to sift through all of that and use physical evidence and use shooting reconstruction and confirm a lot of our ballistic evidence, what weapons were involved, things of that nature. And through that, we were able to deduce that Patrick Clark is the lethal shooter in the case. And that's why he's being charged with murder.
Thank you, Sarge. At the DA's office.
Thank you, Chief.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. My name is Ruben Perez, and I am a Bureau Chief of the Special Crimes Bureau. My bureau was in charge of this investigation at the DA's office. I want to thank the prosecutors in my bureau for working extremely hard, and I really want to thank the HPD organization for all the work and the collaborative effort they put into this case along with the DA's office. And I also want to thank our federal partners for their help. I want to thank everybody who was involved in this case. I want to echo what the mayor said. I want to echo what Chief Fenner said, and I want to echo what the investigator said, that it took a lot of effort, a lot of work, a lot of patience, but we arrested this defendant. We look forward to prosecuting this case, and I want to send our sympathies to the family. And we look forward to prosecuting this case, and we'll see everybody in court. Thank you.
Muy buenas tardes. A nombre del jefe de la policía, Troy Finner, y del alcalde Turner, le queremos dar las gracias al público por su asistencia en esta investigación. Hace algunas horas el jefe de la policía le habló a la madre de nuestra víctima y le dio las noticias de que en efecto hemos arrestado a la persona responsable por este crimen. El individuo se llama Patrick Javier Clark, de 33 años de edad. Fue arrestado anoche. El 22 de noviembre también fue arrestado una persona de interés en este caso. No sabemos su papel exactamente, pero se llama Cameron Josh, de 22 años de edad. La evidencia, gracias a la cooperación tanto del Departamento de Policía, incluyendo a la División de Homicidios, a la División de Pandillas, nuestros compañeros federales del FBI y de la ATF, nuestros compañeros de la Procuraduría del Condado de Harris y a muchas otras personas que participaron en esta investigación. Les damos las gracias por su cooperación. Esperamos que la ciudad de Atlanta y los compañeros fanáticos de este individuo tengan un poquito de alivio de que esta persona fue arrestada. En conclusión, le damos las gracias a todos los que nos dieron información y a todas las personas que participaron en esta investigación. Muchas gracias.
We'll open up for questions.
Chief, we know that Cameron Johnson and Joshua was already arrested. We see his picture attached to this one. How is he connected to this case? What's his status?
He was there on the scene, and he was in possession of a weapon. He's a felon. Okay?
Did Mr. Clark lose the dice game, or was that like a motive in this?
We're still investigating that, and we're not able to discuss it right now. Just the dice games.
Could
Thank
you
you.
go into more specifics about how you actually connected Mr. Clark with either the gun or bullet or whatever?
Yeah, not today. As the time comes, we will. All right.
Was it Joshua's gun that was used in this crime?
We're not going to discuss that right now. It's still active in investigation. We told you, and just not a whole lot of details. The main thing right now, he's in custody. He's arrested and he's charged for this murder. Still some work to be done on it, but we're not going to go in any farther than we've already went on the investigation.
Chief, you guys have often talked about the fact that in this case too, there were so many people on scene. They don't come forward, they like leave, and you guys had to sort of work backwards. Were there any witnesses who were helpful, or did you basically have to construct all of this from the
I can tell you,
sources of video, bits and pieces, or?
I can tell you it's upstanding investigative work on this. Not a lot of help for people coming up and stepping up, but I don't want to judge them. But they do need to come in because we know who was on the scene, and we will be contacting and reaching out and finding those individuals. This is a murder, and if you left because you were afraid or whatnot, I don't know the motivation, but you do have to come forward and give us some information, and that could come through grand jury and penal as well. So.
Was Takeoff the intended target, or was he at the wrong place?
We already, yeah, it's definitely wrong place at the wrong time. No evidence whatsoever to say anything different. Go ahead. I'll get you.
Peacefully, can you tell us about African?
I'm sorry.
Did he come peacefully? Could you tell us about African?
Oh yes, the actual arrest of him. Yeah, peacefully. And I'm not bragging, but I send this message to our criminals. We're gonna come and get you, and we come and get you professionally, but we come in force with everything that we have. And he gave up, and I want to say thanks for that. Okay, nobody's hurt, nobody's injured. Go ahead.
Kind of as Takeoff as a bystander, can you say at all where he was situated in terms of where the gunman was? Was it
No,
turned,
we won't go into it, but he was actually on the scene, and we all know it. There is some video out there, but we're gonna stay away from specifics right now. Go ahead.
Was Clark invited to the party? Did he know Takeoff?
We don't know. Yeah.
Was Mr. Clark?
Chief, has Patrick Clark admitted to the shooting?
Not going to discuss that right now. Go ahead.
Was Mr. Clark involved in a shooting in 2018 at a club where someone was killed?
That's part of the investigation. I mean, we'll get it out to you.
Do these two reside in Houston?
Who? Which two?
Two.
Yeah. Well, one, but one of them has a residence outside of Houston. Go ahead.
Do you expect more suspects out there? People you are.
We don't know. We're not gonna outrule anything. We're gonna go where the facts and the evidence lead. And you remember what I said: suspect are suspects, and we're gonna leave no stone unturned. And everybody family deserve that. And I want to say this, and we're going to probably do just a few more questions, and we're going to leave. We got work to do. Any individual that's killed in our city, it's tough, and it's tough on the family and tough on their friends. Everybody deserves an investigation, but the investigator said it. We need people to step up too. Do your part as a citizen. And if you see something, you need to say something. Don't let the fear paralyze you. Step up and say something, and we're all better and safer because of that. One more.
Chief, was he about to flee or leave town? Is that why you guys moved in last night? Or what can you tell us about?
I don't want to go into any details on that, but we suspect you. We'll have our eyes on you.
Mr. Mayor, could I ask you, of course, this is a national, if not a worldwide story. What message do you want to send to the broader community about this case and the situation?
Well, the one message is, number one, you can't come and commit murder in this city and expect to not get caught. Quite frankly, guns will kill. And if you use a weapon in the heat of the moment or whatever the facts may be, if you fire it, you can have deadly consequences. And then someone can either be seriously wounded or someone, in this case, like Takeoff, can lose his life. And you heard the investigator say he was an innocent bystander. But regardless of whether you are an individual that's a celebrity or you're not a celebrity at all, we are going to investigate every case with the greatest degree of intensity, utilizing all available resources to find who the person was or who the persons were. The other point that I will make is that if you have 30 people that are in that setting, and one of those persons, for example, in this case like was Takeoff, was killed, everybody else has a responsibility to contribute to finding out who did it. So I don't give anybody an out. If you were there and you saw something and you know something, you don't get a pass. Everybody has to take a responsibility. And then lastly, I will simply say there are just too many young men. And I'm gonna be even a little bit even more specific. There are too many young men of color who are killing other young men of color. And that has to stop. That has to stop. So this is unfortunate. You have a young man, I think they're 33 years old, is the suspect here. And Takeoff was under the age of 30. Okay? So all families are impacted in this situation. But if you commit a crime in this city, we are going to expend all available resources to find you. Okay?
All right. Thank y'all.
Thank you.
1 month after that fatal shooting at a downtown Houston bowling alley, police have made an arrest. They've arrested 33-year-old Patrick Xavier Clark for the murder of rapper Takeoff, who was part of the rap trio Migos. Clark was arrested last night on the east side.
Yeah, and police officials saying it wasn't a police tip, but surveillance and shooting reconstruction. Good old-fashioned police work that helped lead them to Clark. We will have much more on this story on KHOU.com and on KHOU 11 News starting at 4 o'clock.